Hey yogis, welcome back to my channel. Today I'd like to do an intermediate class focusing on developing an inward flowing mind. So Patanjali explains in Yoga Sutra 1.2 that yoga is the complete mastery over the roaming tendencies of the mind. You may ask, how do you get complete mastery? And the answer is by turning your mind inward. So today we're going to focus this class on turning the mind inward in all of the asana, and we will end with a short meditation at the end. So let's start seated in Sukhasana with one ankle in front of the other, or Siddhasana with one ankle on top of the other. You can always sit up on a blanket or a block or whatever's most comfortable for you to find your opening pose here. Once you find this pose, let's just develop a nice tall spine and then close your eyes and start to develop that inward flowing mind here. Focus on how you're feeling today. In your emotional body, your physical body, your spiritual body. And then start to notice the breath. What is the breath like today? Is it shallow or deep? Is the breath long or short? Is it loud or quiet? And then see if you can begin to make your breath equal in length. So the inhales and exhales are the same duration. And see if they can flow effortlessly into each other. So they're continuous, without a pause between the inhale and the exhale. Or between the exhale and the inhale. And see if you can develop a smooth breath without any jagged edges, that it just flows effortlessly. Stiram Sukham. And take about 5 more deep breaths here. Breathing in from your support, the floor, to the crown of the head. Breathing out from the crown of the head down to your support. And follow the breath in this way. The next time you exhale, drop your head over to your right shoulder. And as you inhale, lift the head up through center. Exhale, drop the head to the left shoulder. Inhale, lift it up through center. Follow the breath in this pattern now, exhaling from side to side, inhaling through center. Just go with the breath at your own pace. Do about 1 more at each side. And then lift the head back through center. Now you're going to turn the gaze over the right shoulder. Inhale to center. Turn the gaze over the left shoulder. Inhale to center. Sometimes it's helpful to maintain that inward flowing mind to close your eyes. So you're shutting off your sense of sight. It might help you draw deeper internally. And if that's not comfortable for you to close your eyes, just soften the gaze. And do one more each side. And come through center. Let's inhale, lift the shoulders up. Maybe you want to bend your elbows and take your hands into fists. And then exhale, release it down. Inhale, build up some tension. Exhale, release. 3 more times. Release. Twice more. Release. Last one. Release. Good. Take the right hand down. Left arm reaches up. Take a side bend. Exhale to the right. Inhale through center. Left hand down. Exhale to the left. Inhale through center. Flowing side to side this way now. Even it out, and then next time you land on the right side, let's hold it. So reach the left arm up and over. Maybe you want to take your right forearm on the floor. As long as this left sit bone and knee aren't coming up too far off the floor, you're able to maintain the stability through the sit bones. Then just reach the left arm over, or then take the right forearm down. Otherwise, you might be here. And then inhale, come up through center. Let's take the left hand or forearm on the floor. Right arm reaches up and over. Make sure you're still lifting the underarm up towards the ceiling. And then come back up. Let's take a little twist. Right hand, or left hand rather, comes outside the right knee. Sit up nice and tall. And make this rotation stem from the lower abdominals. So you're bringing more your left hip bone almost towards the right side, or visualize it that way, instead of just turning through the shoulders. So throughout this practice, I encourage you to continue to try to close your eyes or soften your gaze as much as you can, as long as we're not doing crazy balance poses. And then inhale through center and start to take that twist over to the left. Continuing to sit up nice and tall. Nice. Let's come through center. Come to the front of your mat in tabletop position. Hands and knees on the floor. Make sure those hands are right under your shoulders, and spread your fingers really wide so your middle fingers are forward. On your next time you inhale, you're going to open up the chest, bring the shoulder blades towards each other. And as you exhale, bring the shoulder blades away from each other, round through the spine. Now this is your cat and cow. So kind of move intuitively. Again, beginning to close the eyes or soften the gaze so you can feel a little more deeply what's going on inside. And maybe you want to invite an abdominal squeeze here. So on the next time you exhale, pull the navel in and up in a slight engagement of the abdominals. And as you inhale, release that effort. Again, exhale, pull in and up with the abdominals. Squeezing and then release. Kuchana Prasarana in Sanskrit. Abdominal squeeze helps to awaken the intelligence within. And do it a few more times here. Okay, from here, curl the toes under, find a flat back, lift the knees up, and hips go up and back for a downward facing dog. Take whatever intuitive movements you might need. For me, my calves have been really tight lately, so I'm going to bicycle out the feet a little bit, shifting weight from one heel to the next as I bring the opposite heel down. And if you're bicycling like me, just make sure eventually you reach both heels towards the floor and find a more static pose here. And then you'll begin to walk your hands back towards your feet. So let's just come into a forward fold, whatever feels good for you. Maybe separate the feet a little bit wider. Maybe you're letting your upper body hang down. Maybe you want to grab opposite elbows instead. All these options are great. Good, and then take a little bend in the knees and let's roll it back up to stand. So you can stay facing the back of your mat towards the front. I'm gonna face you. From here, we're going to start to link our breath to our movement. This is where you might want to open your eyes because it's a little more challenging for the balance. So feet are hip distance apart. You're going to reach your arms up on your inhale as you lift your heels. And as you exhale, start to lower the heels and the hands at the same time. Now notice if you have a tendency of holding the breath at the top to wait till your hands get all the way up until you start to exhale. If you do, that's something that I was doing. Just watch that. And whenever you get to the fullest expression of your breath, maybe your hands are right here. You start to exhale and lower it down. So it's just really good information so you can know how full your breath is today. Right? So next time you try this video or try this exercise, you might be able to get a little bit higher, or maybe you're not. And it's just really good information, right? So try to not hold the breath at the top. You just inhale to your fullest expression, lifting those heels up, and then exhale right away once you need to. And same thing goes at the bottom. Right after you're done exhaling, you immediately begin to lift the heels and the hands. All right, let's try it a few more times. Sometimes the heels like to come down a little first before the hands. See if you can resist that. Heels and hands at the same time. Good. The next one you do, let's hold it up. So you're holding your fullest expression here. Your arms are reaching high. Your heels are as high as they can go. Try to soften through the toes so you're not gripping too much into the mat. Find your smooth, deep, and even breath. Hold it here for 3, for 2, and exhale, release 1. Good job. Let's reach the arms up overhead, and then exhale, Uttanasana, forward bend. Inhale, start to lengthen through the spine, and then walk your hands forward nice and slow till you get back to a downward facing dog. From here, lift your heels and then bend your knees and walk your feet forward towards your hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise, arms reach up. Urdhva into Tadasana and Anjali Mudra. Your hands are together in front of your heart. Now here, close your eyes. Develop that inward flowing mind here. Allow the breath to be smooth and fluid. Without any pause, just effortless here. Notice how you feel now from the beginning of class. We've brought a little movement into the body. Sometimes that's all it takes to really change the way you feel physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Next time you inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana. Take your hands down, step your feet back, high plank, shoulders over wrists. Let's hold it here for a moment. Nice, strong breath. Make sure you're not holding it. And then shift your weight forward, lowering down all the way to your belly. Lift your chest up, squeeze your shoulder blades together, press the top of the feet down into the floor. And then sit all the way back to child's pose. Bring your big toes together, knees can separate a little bit more, and relax the forehead down on the mat. This is a really nice place again to close your eyes or soften that gaze. Notice how this asana, this pose feels today in your body, on your mat. We'll begin to make our way back up, and you'll step the right foot forward between the hands. Okay, so just allow your left hip to release down towards the floor. So it's not so much like this. Allow it to soften as much as you can. But through that softening, you want a pelvic floor engagement to protect the lower back. So you want to think about, like stopping the stream of urine, how that feels. Feel that in your pelvic region. And then breathe diaphragmatically. It might be helpful here to have blocks on either side of the foot. So if you need those, if you have them at home, feel free to get those out. And then let's begin to extend the right leg straight. If you have blocks, you're walking the blocks back. And then bend your right knee. So just move through this, extending and bending a few times, your own way, at your own pace. And maybe you want to hold one or the other a little bit longer. We have a few moments to do that, so choose that if you want. Or maybe you want to keep going back and forth. You always have the option to choose. Good, and then rebend that knee when you're ready. Curl the left toes under, lift the left knee up. So finding a really strong left leg here. You're still activating through Mula Bandha, engaging the pelvic floor. And on your next inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Good. From here, inhale, straighten the right leg. Exhale, bend the right knee. Get a little deeper. Do that again. Straighten and bend. Shoulders away from the ears. A couple more times. Inhale and exhale. Get the back heel as high as you can. Last two. One more. Nice work. Hands to the floor. Step the right foot back. Downward facing dog. From here, left foot steps between the hands, right knee lowers down to the floor. Same thing here. Just allow your hips to press forward and down, but still there's an engagement, an energetic upliftment through the pelvis, the pelvic floor. And then when you're ready, begin to extend and bend. Just about 5 times each, or maybe again you want to hold one or the other a little longer. As your hands are on the floor here, it might be a nice time to close the eyes or just soften the gaze as you move intuitively. And when you're ready, you'll rebend that left knee if it's not already there. Curl the right toes under, lift that right knee up. And on your next inhale, reach the arms up through towards the ceiling. Shoulders down, hands are active, reaching up. And on your inhale, extend the left leg. Exhale, bend left knee. You get a little bit of break with that extension, so see if you can bend a little deeper with the bend. Two more. Nice. Both hands come down. Left foot steps back. Downward facing dog. From here, float the right leg up towards the ceiling. You can bend the knee and open up the hip here a bit. And then extend the leg straight. Pull the knee in towards the chest, shoulders over wrist. Do that twice more. Inhale, lift up. You don't have to open the hip this time. Exhale, pull in. One more time, lift up. Exhale, pull in. Step the foot down again. We're gonna rise up to crescent high lunge. This time, take your hands to Anjali Mudra. So try to find your balance. If balance is really difficult today, step your feet wider apart towards the edges of the mat. And then just hold it here. Soften the gaze or close the eyes. Notice how much more challenging the balance becomes with the eyes closed. The simple act of shutting off that sight, what effect does it have on the body? Begin to open the eyes, spin the left heel down, arms come out to a T, warrior two. Gaze over your right fingertips. Right forearm comes down on the thigh, left arm reaches up and over, side angle A, and then we're going to come to reverse. So now you'll take your left hand behind your back, right arm reaches up and over. Do this about 5 times. Exhale into side angle A. Inhale into reverse warrior. Konasana. And reverse. Twice more. Good, and then hold Konasana here. Left arm reaches up and over. Try to bend that right knee so it's right over the ankle, really stretching through the inner thigh. Good, and then see if you can take your right hand down on the floor or a block. Left arm reaches straight up into side angle B. So now the shoulders are stacked instead of a diagonal line. Hand in hand, or in one line, or wrist to wrist. Press the right knee back with the right shoulder a bit. Your gaze can be up or maybe forward or even down, whatever's most comfortable. Okay, and then both hands come to the floor. Back heel is lifted here. Maybe walking that right foot out to the side a bit. Right foot steps back. Take it down, child's pose, balasana. Sit to your heels. Notice what you find now internally. What do you feel now? Okay, we're gonna come into the other side. So let's come back to down dog. Left leg lifts up and back, 3-legged dog. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Look slightly under your left arm. Extend the left leg straight. On your exhale, draw your knee into your nose. Inhale, lift it up and back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee to nose. Step it between the hands. Look forward. Root through the feet. Reach your arms up. And draw your hands back to Anjali Mudra in front of your heart. Find your smooth, deep, and even breath. And maybe you want to close your eyes or soften the gaze here. Notice what happens there. And then open the eyes, spin the right heel down, arms reach out to a T, warrior B. Warrior 2. From here, left forearm down, right arm reaches up and over, side angle. Find this long diagonal line, and then we'll move through reverse. Right hand comes behind your back, left arm reaches up and over. Do this 5 times. Left hand down, right arm over. Inhale to reverse. Exhale to land the forearm down. Couple more times. Strong in the legs, pelvic floor is lifted. Twice more. One more. And then hold this side angle A here. Let's hold it here for just a few breaths. Find this long diagonal line. See if you can get the left knee over the ankle. And then eventually move into side angle B. Left hand comes down, maybe on a block or on the floor. Now lean that shoulder back into the knee to open up the hip a little bit more. Good. From here, both hands come down on the inside of the foot. So maybe you want to take the left foot out to the side a little bit. Both hands down on the floor or the block. Squeeze that left knee into the shoulder. And then let's step the left foot back, downward facing dog. Again, we'll drop the knees in Balasana and develop that inward flowing mind here. So notice how you feel now after completing that side. Okay, from here you're going to come onto the belly in a prone position. And we'll take the palms of the hands on the floor. Okay, from here you're just going to press the tops of the feet down into the floor. The palms press down into the floor, and on your next inhale, lift the chest, the shoulders, the head up off the floor. Keep pressing down into the hands and feet. Breathe deeply. And then release into crocodile, rest the forehead. Down on the palms, stack the palms. Let the feet go out to the corners of the mat if that's comfortable. And breathe diaphragmatically. Allowing the breath to get fully into the abdomen. Okay, second time we do this. You're going to take the palms down. This time try to lift your shoulders and your feet, okay? So exhale the breath. Inhale, lift up. If you have any lower back pain, keep your feet wide. If not, bring your big toes together. Lift the shoulders a little higher, lengthen the back of the neck so your gaze is down, and take 3 more breaths. Good, and then release. Take crocodile again, stack the palms, rest the head on the back of the hands. And then from here, we'll move into Dhanurasana. So bend your knees, and now if Dhanurasana is not good for you, maybe you just want to do one of the other 2 we just did, but this time you will take your hands off the floor, okay? Otherwise, bend your knees and reach for your feet. Exhale all your breath, and inhale, lift up. Try to get your thighs off the floor, maybe keep your big toes together if no lower back pain is present, and breathe. Keep reaching the toes upward. And release it down. Rest. Coming back into crocodile. From here, bend your knees and just rock your feet from side to side. And then just flip on over to your back side. And we'll do a couple back bends here. So we're going to do 1 bridge and 1 wheel. If wheel's not good for you, just do 2 bridge pose. Feet are hip distance apart. Press down into the feet. Lift your hips up. Maybe roll the shoulders under if you'd like. Interlace the fingers and reach the fist towards the heels, or don't. And just keep the arms long, palms down. Breathe, lengthen the back of the neck so you're not crunching chin to chest too much. Press a little more into the big toes, activating the inner thighs. And then let's release, relax, close the eyes, hands to the abdomen. Rest here. Notice how you feel. Notice where in the body it's hard to breathe and where the breath flows effortlessly. Not for judgment purposes, but for information about your body, where you're at, and what you can access. All right, from here, let's take the hands by the head if you're doing wheel. Fingertips face down towards the floor, or towards the feet. Come onto the crown of the head. Exhale the breath, and inhale, press up. 5 breaths. Back bends are easy. Walk your hands towards your feet. Smooth out the breath. Once you've done all 5 on your next exhale, lower it down. Rest. Hands on your abdominals, knees towards the ceiling, feet on the floor. Let's take the arms out to the T and just drop the knees over to the right. So your feet are still about hip distance or even wider. The knees are just dropping to the right. Little twist here. And then from here, take your left foot on the outside of the right knee. You might need to move your right knee down a little bit. And then press the left knee back. So the left knee's up towards the ceiling. This is one of my favorite stretches. I think it feels so good. On the outside of that right hip. Your left foot might be on the floor, but maybe it's hovering. Just depends on the tightness of the body, your anatomy, the way your body is designed. Good. And then release your left foot back to the ground. You'll lift the knees up. Let the knees go over to the left. Little twist first. Through the spine. And then when you're ready, pick the right foot up. Take the right foot outside the left knee. And press the right knee back a little bit towards the back of the mat. Good job. From here, come back to center. Extend your legs long and let's take a short Shavasana. So set yourself up. If you need any props here, blankets, pillows, maybe you want to put socks on, or sweatshirt. Your house is cold. And then release your arms down by your side. Let your hands be a little bit away from your hips. Palms face up. Maybe drop the shoulders down and under your body a bit. And then start to relax on the head to the toe. Once you get to your feet, take a big breath in through the feet. Scan the body up through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, follow the breath from the crown of the head down to the feet. And notice if there's any tension along the way, along this path. If there is, just use your awareness to soften that tension. So your body can just lie here effortlessly. Breathe naturally and normally. Take 3 more breaths following the breath in this way. And then your next time you inhale, stretch the arms up overhead. Maybe bring the feet together, point the toes. And then come to one side. Rest your head in your arms. And we'll come to a seated meditation. So here, sit up nice and tall. Find a nice comfortable seat. Maybe it's the first position that we came into today in this practice. Maybe you have a blanket under you or a block. Just find your comfortable seat. And once you find something that you think you can hold and maintain for a little bit, just be still. You can rest your hands on your thighs. Palms facing down seems to be a little bit more grounding. Palms up seems to be a little more uplifting. So you choose what you need today. And then bring the awareness here to the tip of the nostrils. And feel the breath here. Maybe even helpful to take your finger right here at the bottom of the nose. And feel the breath as it moves in here through the nostrils. And then as it moves out in that very same space. So feel the breath as it moves in and up. And watch the breath as it moves down and out. effortless effort with the breath. Next time you inhale, feel the breath as it moves in and up through the nostrils, up the nasal canal, through to the center of the eyes. And as you exhale, feel the breath as it goes down and out through the nose. So now your point is going to up through to the corner of the eyes, and then exhaling down and out. You might want to notice here if you're clenching or scrunching the forehead or having any tension in between the eyes. If you are, try to soften and do less effort. Try less to feel this, to just be effortless. Good. The next time you inhale, breathe in through the nose. Go past the center of the eyes, right to the center of the head. So if you were to make a point and draw it right in the center of your forehead. Exhale, feel the breath go down through the corners of the eyes, out through the nose. Follow the breath in this way 3 times. Again, try to release any tension in the head, the eyes, the forehead as you do this. And release this effort and just sit here. Breathe normally, naturally. Maybe a mantra will help the mind flow inward. We'll just be here for about a minute. And if you want a mantra, use the mantra Sat Nam. So every time you breathe in, mentally say Sat. Every time you breathe out, mentally say Nam. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. And then draw your hands together in front of your heart. Gently bow your chin to your chest, honoring your head to your heart. Honoring this connection with your mind and your body. The divine light inside of me is the divine light inside of you, and the divine light inside of you is that very light within me. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.